Hi, welcome to another walk with Harvey. Harvey's here, Holly's here, Rosie's here as well, she's just across the road there. And today we're in the Mourne Mountains again, but we're not going high up this weekend because the country's been battered by Storm Aidan, so we didn't want to risk it. So we're doing the Granite Trail this week, so that starts from Donard Car Park. Only a short walk, so it's only just over 3 miles, I think. But yeah, wanted to avoid all the bad weather on top, so hopefully this won't be too strenuous. Anyway, better get going. Speak to you in a wee bit. Okay, that's us out of Donard Car Park on the trail finally. Took Rosie about 20 minutes to put her gaiters on, didn't it? I think she's still got them on back to front.
Oh.
she was getting very frustrated. We nearly didn't come on the walk then. But now, a couple of weeks ago when I was doing the video up Donard in the dark, at the end of the walk, Holly ran off across this field here when it was pitch black, and it took me a couple of minutes to find her, and when I did, she was down here in this river. So I had to drag her out. That didn't make it onto the edit. But yeah, Holly was very silly that night. Now this wee stream's a wee bit heavier than it normally is. Might get our feet wet here. Careful of that log, looks slippy, but you might be alright on it. It'll be grand. Once you get across, you'll have to. Holly, wait for me, Holly. Don't worry, Rosie, it was all a dream. Now, I think we're just down below the ice house here, so we don't go straight up that path. You'll be glad to know, Rosie, we go across this bridge. Okay.
That pleases me.
Good.
A lot.
Okay, quick time check just below the ice house here. 0.89 miles, and we've just been going over an hour. 20 minutes of that was Rosie putting her gaiters on though. Now, last time Rosie was on a big walk with me, that was when we were doing the Lacale Way, and she had issues with her feet. She wasn't wearing her insoles that she sometimes does, but since then she's bought new insoles to try and see if that helps with the issue. What is the issue, really?
Well, I have overpronation and weak arches. So that both those things combined together just make 4 weak feet. And I mean, there are exercises that you can do to help strengthen the feet, but when you're doing big walks like this, for me anyway, you need good supporting insoles. Now, I had many years ago, the podiatrist had made me a really solid pair, but they were so solid, there was no giving them, that I would end up with sore knees, you know, because your feet are meant to flex.
Yeah.
That's in their natural state, they're meant to flex. But the insoles that I had been given became so solid that there was no flexibility or give whatsoever to allow the joints to move freely.
So what were the ones that you bought? Are they doing the job?
Yes, they are. So I went online and researched, because I don't have the finances to pay hundreds of pounds to podiatrists. I just don't, and even if I did on one occasion, I would still have to get them replaced every couple of years, and you know, that is a few £100s, which is worth it if you have the money. But if you don't, then you need to look into other alternatives. So for me, I went online and I just researched different companies that made insoles. And the one that I found, there was two. There's one called Foot Active, and they seem pretty good. The one that I went with, Salasford, or I'll find the name out.
I'll stick it down at the bottom.
So I went on and I got to speak to someone, and it's an orange flexible full insole with an built-in arch, and it's made that way with a particular material to allow it to be flexible, to allow your foot to bend. And I got those, and initially they were great, but I realised that my foot was still overpronating, especially my left one still turning in. So I contacted them and they sent me like a little wedge that you attach to the bottom of it, so it tilts your foot back into the position it's meant to be in. Fingers crossed, so far so good.
Yeah, and it's issues like this that put people off going hiking, but you know, most of these issues are solvable. I mean, it might take a bit of work, but most of these issues can be dealt with, like sore knees and things like that. A lot of the time it's not necessarily about your knees, it's about the muscle. Yeah, it could be your feet or it could be the muscles around your knees. It's about building up all the muscles that you need for doing the hikes. But yeah, if you go out and you're sort of my sort of age, approaching your 50s or even older, and you think, oh, I couldn't be coping with that, it's too much pain, there are things you can do to sort of deal with that.
Yeah.
Just get out there. The longer you get out there, the more you do it. Slowly. Get out there slowly, build your way up, and you know, you don't start, you know, going the big hikes straight away. Just build yourself up slowly, and the stamina comes the longer you do it.
Yeah. Good luck.
Now, the idea with the Granite Trail was to sort of celebrate the industrial heritage of the Mournes to some extent. So, as you can see, there's some bags of granite there, so they still must be collecting stones from this quarry here. And can you remember the name of the technique that they used to use to break the stone? I told you on our walk up Rocky Mountain.
How long ago was that then?
6 months ago. It's the plug and feathers technique. So they used to wedge something in and then hit it with a big hammer. So as you can tell, I don't know much about it either. So I'll put a wee video on the top if I can find one that explains the plug and feathers technique. But I think this is as high as we get, Rosie, on this walk, you'll be glad to know. Oh, it says, the Granite Trail, on a clear day you might see. Well, it's not a clear day, but it says there's views of Castlewellan, Slieve Crib, Scrabo Tower, Dundrum, Strangford Loch, Mull of Galloway, Scotland I suppose, St John's Point and the Isle of Man. Not today though. Okay, so just at this Granite Trail sign, another time check, 1.53 miles, 1 hour 27. Minus a 20 for Rosie putting on a gate, yes. You may have noticed Harvey's wearing a new accessory today. He's wearing his Halloween themed neckerchief that was made by my friend Diane. She's selling them online, so I'll put a link. Oh, We're at the shelter. Time to stop for tea, I think. As soon as Rosie finishes teaching Holly a lesson. She's still pulling.
What are you barking at?
Just having a wee break in the shelter here. Now this week I'm testing out a new bit of tech. I've got my super duper massive solar powered battery, so hopefully no more issues with battery running out on the camera and the phone.
Which one's mine?
That one's yours, Rosie. Peanut butter and tomato, and that's vegan cheese, tomato, and a wee scrap for Harvey if there's any left over. Poor dog. You'd think he'd never been fed.
I look like a wee orphan dog.
Oh, I just didn't notice this sign. Shoddy hut. The granite men of Mourne were a hardy bunch, dressing, smoothing and shaping lumps of granite in the harsh rain and biting winds like today. It was no easy task. Those buildings of gravity-defying Mourne wall often worked all week on the mountainside, sleeping by the stone at night and only returning home on a Friday evening. That's some job. Wooden shelters, the cribben, curbstones and square sets cobblestones they made here might pave the bustling cities of industrial England, but no great expense was spared for the workers' comfort. However, the more fortunate were able to shelter in wooden structures as they worked. These were known as shoddy huts, from the pieces of granite shoddies that were left after dressing stone. Right, let's get going then. Okay, a bit more of the history of the Granite Trail here. So these are slipes over there. If you're standing here a century or so ago, you might have seen a hardy looking man pulling a strange wooden cart down Bogey Hill to the harbour, or the stonemason's yard, now Edgewater Apartments on South Promenade. Built without wheels, the slipe or sidecar was ideal for transporting small amounts of granite over rough ground where wheeled carts might get stuck. These could easily be made on the farm, usually from the slippery wood of the holly. Holly? Where's Holly? She's Holly. Slipes could be pulled by a man or a donkey, or holly, and were also used for collecting highly prized local seaweed or wrack. Can you imagine pulling one of these wooden things up that steep slope that we've just been... No, they wouldn't be pulling it up, would they? They'd be pulling it down.
Sliding it down.
Sliding it down. Imagine trying to stop it. What do you think of them slipes, Harvey?
I felt like I was taking my life in my hands there.
It is quite steep. Definitely glad we came the other way. If it wasn't wet, it wouldn't be half as slippy. No sign for this one, but you can see what it is anyway. So I'm wondering where the track actually ran. Was it up the steep bit or was it along this bit? Dream house there, Rosie. Imagine having that house and having the Mournes right behind you. I'd be out every day then.
Yeah. Oh my, you wouldn't even need a house that size, just like half that size, quarter that size.
Quarter that size.
Just, you know, a bedroom, a living room, a bathroom, a kitchen.
Maybe when we win the lottery. What about that, Harvey? I'd even take one of these houses, Rosie. Yeah, no, I think most people probably do the walk the other way round. So this for most people would be the start of the Granite Trail. So it tells you the history of the Bogey line, which goes down to the harbour there. So the original Bogey line was built by John Lynn in 1824 to carry dressed granite from a new quarry at Millstone Mountain to King Street. Now, if you've been walking this side of the Mournes and you've just finished, this is always a good place to come. Olive Bazaar, highly recommended. Okay, so that's us back at the van. Quick time check, 3 hours 9 minutes, and that's 4.99 kilometers, just over 3 miles. Yeah, that was good. It's good to do walks like that are in the lower Mournes on days like this when it's chucking it down and windy and you don't want to be too high up and exposed. How did you find it, Rosie?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm soaking.
Soaking, but your legs aren't as sore as they were on the
No.
previous long one we did.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, I didn't push it
No.
too hard today. But yeah, get out and do a few more of these ones just in the foothills of the Mournes, I think. But yeah, that was worth doing. But don't know where we'll be next week as usual. I plan these things week by week. But thanks for watching another one. Give us a wee thumbs up, hit like and hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.